Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium here at Cadillac High School. Second quarter action here on 26 Sports and CCTV's Game of the Week between the John Glenn Bobcats and the Cadillac Vikings. I'm Derek Tate alongside Bill Dooley. Vikings lead 7-0, and they have a 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line after a Noah Cochran first down for the Vikings, and here is another carry for Noah Cochran. Look at the little jump cut, and he's got another first down here for the Vikings. Gain of 10, and Cochran is having himself a fantastic start to this game.
Yeah, the first run that we missed was 13 yards. This is a 10-yarder, so he is just like chunking off huge pieces of real estate.
And whenever you have plenty of room to run, you always got to remember the big men up front. And they are running consistently behind Ryan Wood and Bryce Benjelink. 1st and 10 Vikings. Lamond gives to Cochran. He slips a tackle. He stiff arms another at the 18-yard line. Finally dragged down at the 13. And another 11-yard gain moves the sticks for the Vikings.
Yeah, and another big guy that's Carson Raziel, the 5'10", 250 sophomore. And he is out there, too. I mean, you can see him right next to the referee. I mean, he is really doing a good job. He's actually playing center.
And we have number 42, Alex Barshevsky, the tight end. A little on balance. Here is Lamont. Gives to Cochran. Left side yet again. This time he's cut down by number 26. That's Bryce Fredenberg. And that's a gain of about 7. And I tell you what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, and this is going to wear the Bobcat defense down because they've been on the field a long time and they've been getting pounded.
2nd and 4. Lamont gives Cochran. This time the Bobcats defense able to rally to the ball. Drops him for a short gain. Number 87 on the stop. That's Maxon Smith.
And also Mason Facundo was in on that tackle also for the Bobcats.
Facundo with one of the best names on the Bobcats roster. And we do have ourselves a 3rd and 4 here. We haven't seen many third down
for Cadillac
attempts here for Cadillac early in this game.
Yeah, they're on the 7-yard line? Looks like they're sitting on the 7.
They can achieve a first down, move the sticks if they get to the 3. And again, more movement. And that looks like it's going to be on the Bobcats yet again.
Boy, critical play right there. That's a first down.
Well, with half the distance to the goal, it's going to be close. Because right now they're at the 7-yard line. It looked like they need to get to the 3. I mean, I'm no math major, but I think 7 divided by 2 is 3.5 yards. We'll see where exactly they wind up after they move the ball half the distance.
Okay, I was going to say they moved it back to the 7. Now they're bringing it into the 3-4 area.
I mean, it must be tough to do some math when you get that half of 7 on the football field. How do you exactly...
That's an odd number, too.
It is. It is a prime number. As we have 3rd and 1 here for the Vikings. Again, a hard count, trying to get him to move. Harsh goes and resets. Lamont, quarterback keeper. He's got the first down, but he's going to be just shy of the goal line. And every time we have seen a 3rd and short, it has been Lamont on the quarterback keeper, and he's 3 for 3 so far in this game.
Yeah, and he just keeps following the big guy, Raziel. And, they know the count, so you're going to have that initial push, and it's hard for the defense, too.
Would not be shocked. We have 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. We may see another quarterback sneak here from Julian Lamond.
Nope, all kinds of movement.
That one, it finally looks like we do have probably an offsides penalty, false start. As it is, false start on the Cadillac. That'll back the ball up to the 6-yard line. So we'll have 1st and goal from the 6.
Yeah, that's the first false start for the Vikings offense, and I think Glenn's like 3 on the encroachments. Okay.
3 encroachments, 1 false start. Cadillac has gone early and often to the hard count. And here's 1st and goal from the 6.
Nope, another movement. That time it was Sam Mallory, number 67 for the Vikings. He's a sophomore, right? Yeah,
that is correct.
Yes, okay.
As we have another back-to-back false start penalties. So that'll back the Cadillac Vikings all the way up to the 11-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal. They've been able to run consistently with Noah Cochran, so it's definitely not within the realm of possibility that he could punch this one in still. But the Vikings have certainly made things harder on themselves. First and goal from the 11. Give goes to Cochran. Cochran goes to the right side. He's going to be gang tackled after a gain of 3, maybe 4 yards. It's going to bring up second and goal from the 7.
46 was leading the tackle. That was Nathan Jacobs. He's a 6'2", 187 senior for Glenn.
A long, rangy linebacker.
Yeah.
As right now, this has been smash-mouth football from the Cadillac Vikings, trying to add to their 7-0 lead. They have second and goal from the 7. Lamont gives to Cochran, and there's a touchdown-saving tackle from number 52. That's Caleb Langley. It's going to bring maybe a gain of 1 or 2 on the play. It's going to bring up third and goal from the 5.
Cadillac have not passed the ball yet. So they're just keeping it on the ground, and they're just chewing up the clock.
Chewing up the clock, chewing up yardage on the ground. 2 costly false start penalties. Here's third and goal from the 5. Running the option is Lamont. He cuts it upfield, slips a tackle, tries to lunge into the end zone, but the Bobcats defense rallies to the ball, stacks him up just at the 3-yard line. So it's going to be a decision here for Coach Mallory on fourth and goal.
Yeah, and they've got Libby, who can definitely put it in from that length. It is a little bit set to the left, so I think they're, looks like they're going to go for it.
And Coach Mallory, instead of electing to try to go up by, make this a 2-score game, he's going to trust his offense. Fourth and goal from the 3. Lamont gives Cochran into the end zone. Let's see if he was down prior. They're going to say that he was down just shy of the goal line. Tough call there for the Vikings, but the Bobcats defense gets a huge stop on fourth and goal.
Yeah, watching that play, I thought he was in. I know he started to go down, but then I thought he leaped at the last second and in. Nevertheless, the referee's doing a great job. Our head referee is Mark Stewart, and he's had a lot of experience, does a great job.
And it looked like that line judge down the left, on the near side of your screen, had a bead on it and said was down immediately. Cochran did what he could. He tried to gain an extra. He was probably contacted at the line of scrimmage, tried to lunge into the end zone, but ultimately just shy. And the Bobcats take over, but it's still a 1-score game. 7:07 remaining. Vikings leading 7-0. And the Bobcats offense, well, they got to go the full length of the field.
Yeah, no room for mistake here. They're on the 1-inch line.
1-inch line, 1st and 10 from the 1. Long still working out of the shotgun. And the only thing that is okay if you have a false start penalty is at the 1. You can't really go any further back.
Right.
Delay a game this time. That's likely on the quarterback. Didn't get the play in time. But they move it back a half inch.
That's right. It looks like the nose of the football is just about touching the goal line.
Now, the Bobcats offense does have to be careful. Any penalty in the end zone would result in a safety. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. Long. Looking. He's got his man, Rory O'Hare, and he's off to the races. To the 40, to the 50. He's got one man to beat, Colin Johnston, trying to run him down. Is it going to be? Yes, a 99-yard touchdown reception. Job Long to Rory O'Hare, and they're an extra point away from tying this one up.
And a great cut move. That's the longest touchdown you can possibly get right there. A 99 3/4 touchdown.
We likely have at least tied a Michigan high school football record for longest touchdown from scrimmage. 99 3/4. Wow. Rory O'Hare, beautiful job after the catch.
William Osdike, they call him Ozzy, is on for the kick.
This one to tie it up. Here's the extra point attempt. Kick is up and blocked. That one, a great block there. Number 42, Alec Barszczewski, coming off the edge. This one keeps the Vikings out in front by a point.
Great extension on that. Speed and just laid out, and that's your special teams, and that is an important part of the game as your defense and your offense.
I mean, you mentioned that they call William Osdike Ozzy. Well, the coaches, Ozzy, and they go, oi, oi, oi after that one. That's got to give you a headache, as this one keeps the Vikings out in front by a point, 7-6, but a 99-yard touchdown. You got to love, anytime you can watch a 99-yard touchdown, it's always fun.
Yeah, and at first, I was thinking maybe Colin Johnson with his makeup speed was going to catch him, but give a lot of credit there to, was that number, it was Rory O'Hare. Yeah, that's a long sprint.
He's probably out of breath. I mean, I don't know if they have an oxygen mask on the other sideline, but he may need it. 99 yards, catch and run. Now he's actually scored a touchdown in consecutive weeks. It's the second time that Joe Blung and Rory O'Hare have hooked up through the air. And that one, you couldn't go any further. 99 yards. But a big block. Special teams normally is the difference in a close ball game. And that block there from Barczewski may come back into playing a crucial role in the final score of this one. As we do have Osdike. Ozzy to kick off for the Bobcats. And this one, a high hanger taken at the 10-yard line. And that looks like it's Aiden Gurdon navigating through traffic and up the left sideline. Spins off a would-be tackler and finally dropped by number 11. That's Austin McKenzie finally bringing him down, but a good return there from the Vikings.
Yeah, Aiden Gurdon last week was playing quarterback. Now he's returning kickoffs and did an awesome job there. Took a hit, spun, got an extra 6-7 yards.
We can go ahead and say, though, it was a 13-point swing. Cochran, like you said, we do have an experienced referee crew this evening, but that looked like it could have been gone either way for Cochran.
Yeah.
And instead it turns, they get the stop, and then right on the other end, a 99-yarder, 13-point swing, but the Vikings are still in front with a 1st and 10. Lamont gives to Cochran up the middle, and Cochran stacked up by number 50. That's Austin Dinauer. For the Bobcats defense, they're starting to put a little bit of resistance up front, as the Vikings are no longer just gashing them for 10 and 12-yard runs at a time.
Good job there by Wyatt Worowski, the 5'8", 160 sophomore, holding onto the foot of Noah Cochran as has helped his teammates out.
Yeah, Wyatt at 160 in there in the trenches as Lamond on a quarterback keeper.
Worowski again, number 10, wrapped him up and rode him down.
Yeah, it almost looked like he lassoed cattle there and tackled him down at a rodeo. But 2 consecutive tackles, and that's going to bring up a third and a short 4 here for the Vikings offense, just under the 6-minute mark, as the Vikings do have a 1-point lead and were unable to finish their last drive. They went forward on 4th and goal. Here's 3rd and 4. Lamond, there's a miscommunication, and he's in trouble and going to be dropped for a loss by number 9. That's William Osdike. Great job by Ozzy there, and there was clearly some sort of miscommunication. That's going to happen when you have a replacement under center.
Yeah, it's probably not the best feeling when you look up and you see 4 white jerseys and yourself, and Ozzy was licking his chops on that one.
It's going to trot on number 2, Colin Hess. To punt for the Vikings, and back to receive Rory O'Hare. I'm surprised he's actually got enough air to be able to go ahead and try to return this punt.
Nice angle punt.
And that one is going to take a Cadillac bounce, but the wet field prevents it from taking too far of a bounce. Down around the 33-yard line, that's where the Bobcats will take over with 4:52 remaining, trying to take their first lead of this game here on the Game of the Week here on 26 Sports and CCTV. I'm Derek Tate alongside Bill Dooley. We've got to go ahead and take some time to thank not only our crew, but again, our set of sponsors that make this possible.
Yes, and our sponsors for tonight's game are our presenters, our Wolverine Power Cooperative, Great Lakes Energy, Munson Healthcare, Cadillac Hospital. We have our sponsors of LC Ready Mix. We'll get back to them in a second.
Yeah, we got 1st and 10 here at the 33-yard line. Long and in the empty set. Long, rolling left. Now he's going to tuck it down and run, and he's got some speed. scoots out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. Gain of around 6 or 7. It's going to make it second and manageable.
Yeah, good play of not seeing anybody open. He's got, like I said, he's got some speed over there and held the ball out for that extra yard along the sideline.
Pulls that little Russell Wilson, just holds it out, trying to get that extra half yard. But we saw what they wanted to do right there. They tried to isolate Rory O'Hare, who just burned him for a 99-yard touchdown. They tried to get him isolated up on the top of your screen against Dan Gray. And they actually marked him out well shy of the 40-yard line, and now we appear to have a timeout from the head coach of the John Glenn Bobcats. Coach Werner wants to talk it over with 4:45 remaining in the first half.
And now we can get back to our sponsors. Fox Motors of Cadillac, your local Ford and Toyota dealerships. Doug Glass of Cadillac, home and auto glass needs. Best Demolition, your local demolition team. They will wreck anything in its path. Pancho Villa Mexican Grill in Lake City, featuring our Monday specials, 5 beef or chicken enchiladas for $5. You cannot beat that. Bauman and Rogers in Lake City, your accounting team. Pizza Plus, homegrown for 50 years, and they'll be helping us out here at halftime. And yeah, they do a great job. Tasty Treat in Lake City. Hit the Tasty Treat before game time, and we will be covering some Trojan football here coming up soon. Builder's First Source in Cadillac. Lake City and McBain Family Pharmacies. LC Materials, your concrete experts. We want to thank all of our sponsors. We would not be able to bring you high school sports without the generosity. And so if you're out and about, let them know that we really appreciate their help for 26 Sports and CCTV.
And of course, if you want to go ahead and try to catch some of these games or even order some of them, you can do so over at MI News. You can go to CCTV or MI News 26. We do have those available, cctv./cadillac.org. Here we are, we resume action. 2nd and 6, Long. Back to pass now, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. He's got the first down and more in the Vikings territory. And out of bounds goes Job Long. And a savvy play there from the senior quarterback.
Yeah, there was no containment by the Viking defense. Once he saw that and made the corner, there was a lot of real estate in front of him.
This Vikings defense was stout on the first couple possessions. Long starting to get into a rhythm now.
And the offense going 99 yards seemed to fire up the defense. They put Cadillac at 3 and out. So, I mean, you see a momentum switch, no doubt.
High school football, momentum can change in the blink of an eye. And the Bobcats have it right now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Long gives to Christie. And Christie stacked up. Great job there by number 58 on the stop. And that is Clayton McKinley, the sophomore, doing some great job setting the edge there for the Vikings defense.
Yeah, Clayton McKinley, 5'8", 210, sophomore. So
stout sophomore.
Oh, yeah.
Playing strong, anchoring, keeping that outside arm available. Able to slow down Caleb Christie.
And he hasn't had too many opportunities here in the first half. They started off going to him a lot, but now it's been few and far between.
Well, they gave Christie that little slip screen on the outside, which he did take for about a 27-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9 at the 40-yard line. Long fakes. Now he sets it up to Rory O'Hare. That one, he felt Tip Baker bear down on him. That one in and out of the hands. Falls incomplete, bringing up 3rd and 9.
Yeah, they put Caleb Christie in motion, and then they cut Rory O'Hare back on the wide receiver cutback. I'm not sure the term, but that play worked earlier in the game for him.
Well, the bubble screen, they had the little motion out to Caleb Christie, my apologies.
Yep.
And then they slipped screened Rory O'Hare right underneath. Unfortunately, that was a lot of traffic on the left sideline, and Tip Baker read it like a book. Led to the incompletion. 3rd and 9 for the Bobcats. Long with 4 wide receivers. Rolling to his left. Pressured. Fires, and that one falls incomplete. Intended for Rory O'Hare. Good coverage there from Dan Gray. That's going to bring up 4th and 9 and decision time for head coach Werner.
Yeah, do you want to try and pooch punt, get him trapped inside the 10-yard line? Little bit outside of Ozzy's range. I mean, though he has boomed some, they were telling me from 50 yards. So he's got the leg. He's a junior.
We see that head coach Warner has decided to go ahead and put Joe Long back in a punting formation. And back to receive for the Vikings, Aiden Gurdon.
Aiden had a good return last time.
3:37 remaining. Vikings with a 1-point advantage. Up 7-6.
Nice high punt.
Beautiful pooch punt. Is that going to take an unkind bounce for the Bobcats? As that barely trickles into the end zone. A good attempt there from Joe Long. Instead, touchback. 1st and 10 Vikings at the 20-yard line with 3:28 remaining in the first half.
We want to let everybody know that all the sports are produced with cooperation between Wexford Missaukee Career Tech Center, CCTV, and My News 26. The students here run the cameras, graphics, instant replay, and they're all supervised by a professional director. Just a great program where these kids can get this experience. Not too many high schools have this in the state of Michigan, so they're very fortunate. And then, if they want to continue their career in college, Central Michigan University right down the road has an excellent broadcasting degree. So,
getting on
and
that.
Ferris is not bad.
That hands-on experience, and here's 1st and 10 and a whistle prior to the snap. We get a look here. It is going to be a delay of game on the Vikings. We've seen a couple delay of games here in this game, one by each team. That'll back up the Vikings, make it 1st and 15. But as we mentioned, though, this is a great program. Some of these young men and women getting their chance to do some live sports, get their hands on the camera. Gotta love it. 1st and 15. Handoff goes to Cochran. And this Bobcats defense has begun to slow down Cochran on the stop. Number 69 for the Bobcats defense. That's Parker Gano, the junior, 5'9", 185. Wrapping up Cochran, who's been slippery tonight.
Yeah, and they seem to shut down that Cochran run off the left side, which they were doing so well on. Cadillac's going to have to, maybe go into the bag of plays here.
And the mesh point messed up there between Julian Lamond and Noah Cochran. He does get what he can on what looked like a botched play. Positive gain, gets back what he lost. That is going to bring up 3rd and 9 here for the Vikings with 2:43 remaining.
Yeah, offense is discombobulated at this point, and Cadillac really needs to settle down. You got 2 minutes to go. You want to at least try and get one more first down, run that clock. Don't give John Glenn, because they still have, 2 timeouts? Yeah, they've got 2 timeouts. So if they get the ball, decent field position, they can potentially do some damage.
We've seen the Vikings. They have yet to throw their first pass of the game, but they've had plenty of success running the football with Noah Cochran, namely on that left side behind Ryan Wood and Bryce Benjelink. However, it does seem as if Coach Warner has made some adjustments on the defensive side of the football to kind of slow down that fullback dive over the left side.
Yes, it definitely is a game of adjustments. At halftime, I'm sure they're going to go in. The coaches are going to look at stuff, and they're going to see offensively, defensively. Derek, we wanted to let everybody know, too, that these games will replay at 11 p.m. after the games and also on Saturday at 4 p.m.
So if you want to catch us or catch any of the players in action tonight, you can do so on 26 Sports and CCTV. Here's 3rd and 9 for the Vikings. Lamond, pitch. That one goes to Carter Harsh, right side. He's got some running room and a hard collision there. Coming up from the safety spot is Job Long on the stop. And it looks like he's going to be very close to the sticks, but it's going to bring up 4th and 1, which likely will lead to the punting unit as they got 4th and short here in their own territory.
Boy, that's a dandy of a stop by the defense, because Colin had a lot of speed, and it looked like he had that opening, but they sealed it off quickly.
Here we are. It does look like the offense remains on the field, and the Vikings.
Well, they might try and draw him offside. If that doesn't work, we'll see.
They've drawn 3 encroachment penalties thus far, and they're going to sneak it here, and it looks like Julian Lamond is going to pick up the first down. Gutsy call there from head coach Mallory.
Oh, yeah, that is an incredible call. I mean, in John Glenn may be thinking they're just trying to pull us offside, but then that quick, was it Razio?
I think it's Razio.
Right behind Razio.
Tap him on one hip and say, I'm coming this way. Here's 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Lamont pitches to Colin Johnston. He's got a lead blocker. Cuts it upfield. There goes Johnston. And good job on defense there from number 46. Holding on for dear life is Nathan Jacobs, but he drags him down. But that'll move the sticks and stop the clock here where the Vikings got some momentum.
Cameron Eager also in on the tackle. The Vikings in their hurry-up offense.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Pitch goes. Carter Harsh. Sweep to the right side. He cuts it upfield into John Glenn Bobcats territory. It's a gain of 5, but the clock will continue to run. 1:15 remaining.
So they're using the sophomore speedsters, one to one side, one to the other. It's working.
Trying to stretch this defense out. 2nd and 5 for the Vikings. Pitch goes. Colin Johnson able to reel that one in. And speaking of reeling someone in, that's number 67 taking Johnson for a ride. Cameron Eager, great job on the stop, and that could have actually been a lot worse, but a loss here for the Vikings.
Cameron Eager has had a good first half. We've called his name a couple times, but twice he has grabbed onto somebody on some great pursuit on the jersey and kept it from being a long run. So we got a timeout now for the Cadillac Vikings. We want to first of all, we want to say congratulations to the girls volleyball team, Cadillac girls volleyball. They won their Big North opener against Gaylord. They're 10-2 overall. We will be doing some volleyball coverage as the season gets a little bit deeper into that time. Cadillac, looking at their schedule coming up, Derek Tate and Dan Gussert will be doing next week right here from Veterans Memorial Stadium as the Petoskey Northmen will be coming to town, and that'll be the opener for the Big North for both teams. And Petoskey's always tough, and that should be a great game.
Yeah, you see, you want to carry that momentum that the Vikings had in their opening win, but the games that really matter are the ones in the league standings for the most part. I mean, of course, every game matters, but really Petoskey is going to be the most important game to start this season here for the Cadillac Vikings. 3rd and 6. And Lamond rolling to his left, looking to throw downfield, and he is sacked and lassoed around the neck pretty high there by number 50. That's Austin Dinhauer. And Mallory is out on the field, the head coach of the Vikings, trying to appeal and ask where is the flag, but no flag, just a loss of 3.
Yeah, and right before that, Derek, Cadillac looked like they got away with a hold. I saw the jersey being pulled by the Viking offensive lineman, so maybe a little bit both ways on that play.
And that one in favor of the Bobcats, not only was there no flag, but the clock stops. 54 seconds remaining, and that should get the Bobcats offense another chance here to try to take the lead here late in the second quarter.
Need that offensive line now to give Colin Hess just some time. He just needs to get that ball downfield, hopefully around the 30-yard line.
And here is a flag, and there may be too many men on the field. But we'll go ahead and wait and see a delay of game, and that is the second delay of game penalty on the Cadillac Vikings. But when it comes to punting the football, it's probably not the worst thing, but it gives that 5 yards worth of extra field position.
It does matter in this case.
Here we are. As you mentioned earlier, Colin Hess back to punt. Rory O'Hare back to receive for the Bobcats.
Good job.
And that one angled to the right. Maybe should have let that one tick off some more time. Was
Alan Wang.
Correct, but here it is. I mean, it bounced right to him. He wanted to make sure it didn't bounce going in the opposite direction to give the Bobcats better field position. 47 seconds left to work with here for the Bobcats. They trail by 1 point to the Vikings, 7-6.
All right, we're going to get our crew in here again before halftime. Down on the field, we've got Caden Darrow. Up here near us with the cameras is Damian Brooks and Abby Danforth. Abby goes to Cadillac. Replay in the van with Hannah is Miley Hilkowski. She's a Pine River student. Our director tonight is Hannah Crouch, and welcome to Hannah. Go ahead there, Derek.
And there's Joe Blong. He finds Caleb Christie, and that's going to move the sticks a little wheel route to the tailback out of the backfield. And that's a gain of 11 with 41 seconds left.
And it stops the clock, too.
It does stop the clock. That is correct. move the chains. But as you were mentioning, the rest of the crew?
The rest of the crew, we mentioned Hannah Crouch, and then our intern tonight is Dylan McCall, who's getting a first-hand look at our camera work and interviews and all that good stuff.
And Dylan had that great kick step trying to protect the TV camera bag. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 47-yard line. Long, surveying the field, flushed out of the pocket, almost sacked. Stays alive, going to go ahead and tuck it down and run into Vikings territory, but there is a flag back at the 42-yard line.
I thought I saw a grab of the jersey. We'll see if it is a hold.
We saw, I'm not sure, I think it was number 80 for the Cadillac Vikings, Jay Goulash, from the right defensive end spot. Apply some pressure, and that is going to be a hold on the Bobcats. That's a big penalty. Mark them back 10 yards, and 33 seconds left, and they're going in the wrong direction.
Right, it's critical with, I mean, they've got one timeout left, but really they had some momentum going, and they were, near the 40-yard line, so that one hurts.
And they're backing this one up. It's from the spot of the foul, and it appears the left tackle for the Bobcats. Can't get a number from this vantage point. It looks like number 52. Caleb Langley got called for the hold. Makes it 1st and 23. Long, back to pass. He's in trouble.
Oh.
And there's a fumble. The ball's on the ground. The Vikings have an opportunity. The ball into the end zone. Let's see if they say he recovered at the 1. And they're going to try to sort this out. Touchdown Vikings! And that's the holy roller there. Long with the fumble. We got to see who recovers. And it looks like it is Colin Johnson. His 2nd defensive touchdown of this season. What a flip of the momentum here. The Vikings get a defensive score on the board.
That is just like before when they went 99 yards after the Cadillac Vikings failed. This is another huge swing of momentum for the Vikings. What defensive pressure they put right in the face of Joe Long.
Joe Long had nowhere to run, and that brings on Libby Lloyd to try to give the Vikings an 8-point advantage. Kick is up. Doinks it off the post. That one takes an unfortunate bounce for Libby Lloyd, so the lead remains at 7. So both teams have had one extra point that has been failed to be converted. But an enormous swing of momentum to end the first half unless the Bobcats can return this kick. 13-6, Vikings on top.
And that was the first miss of the season for Libby Lloyd. She's 5 out of 6 in extra points, and that is pretty good percentage right there for Libby. Vikings, Colin Johnson, sophomore again, stepping up big for the Vikings, and in that speed, tracking it down, and the ball actually was about on the 3-yard line, but just a mass of humanity booting the ball around, and finally it's in the end zone.
A sea of purple just sliding on this somewhat slick field here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and it takes a kind bounce for the home team, recovered by Colin Johnston. He had a pick 6 last week. He just seems, this young man continues to find himself around the football for the Cadillac defense.
Yeah, he's got a great start, and I mean, when you think of defensive touchdowns, I mean, that's almost unheard of to have 2 in the first 2 games.
If you're a running back, you're lucky if you have 2 touchdowns on the ground in a season, much less 2 defensive touchdowns. And there is a kick that's going to be a legal procedure. It looked like Colin Hess was trying to aim it towards the right, maybe like a pooch kick of some sort, but this one goes out of bounds, and that'll move the ball up to, is it the 30 or 35-yard line?
I think it's going to be the 35. And maybe what he was doing is just prevent a run back, because they do have some really good speed, skilled players.
Rory O'Hare.
And Rory O'Hare. And so, I mean, he was aiming for out of bounds. And they'll say, we'll take the 5, and we just don't want them to run it back.
And it is the 35-yard line where the Bobcats will take over. They have 20 seconds remaining, and they do have 2 timeouts, so they have the entire field to work with here if they would like to. Long working out of the shotgun. And he gives it to Caleb Christie, and he's dragged down this Vikings defense. That's number 80, Jay Goulash, on the stop. And that may be the final play of the first half here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We got ourselves a barn burner here on the Game of the Week on 26 Sports and CCTV as the John Glenn Bobcats trail the Cadillac Vikings heading into halftime 13-6. We'll be right back here with more high school football action on this week's Game of the Week.